Hello, I'm Dylan.
I'm Summer.
And this is Really Playing Games, the show where we play games. Really! The summer is being haunted by tech gremlins, and so is visually here only in spirit, but audibly entirely here. Summer, how have you been?
Oh, well, pretty good. This week was pretty garbage.
Yeah.
My little one, my baba, who's a year old, got some kind of like stomach bug. Not exactly sure what's up. She's doing much better now, but she was sick for a couple days where she was really, really fussy and was having a hard time sleeping. And that meant that her sleep schedule was really, really off because she would sleep a lot during the day, and then not so much at night. And so
Right.
her sleep schedule's been kind of all over the place. And that means that my sleep schedule has been all over the place. And my sleep schedule is all over the place anyway because no pixel and grinding and all of this other stuff. But,
Right.
you know, usually like I would nap when she naps, but now she's like napping at weird times. And like, it's just, especially with having also a 4-year-old, it's been kind of a disaster. So that's been the majority of my days this past week has just been making sure that she's doing good and staying hydrated and everything. And like I said, she's doing much better. She's like fully happy baby today. So
Yay!
yeah, and took a nap at a pretty normal time, a little bit late, but like not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did that. We were 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yes.
Yum. I have been doing a lot of role play stuff. Obviously been doing No Pixel a lot.
Yep.
Lots of early game stuff. I'm really good at hacking because it's literally just typing, which is great now. I love typing. I'm a great typist. And then me and Lauren and Allie are winding down our home game. We have 4 sessions left, and we will wrap up just shy of our 2 years, like literally within the week of our 2 years of playing that game.
Hot damn.
And that has been emotionally devastating to be going through the end of this game. It is very, very good. I got some really intense lore unlocks during our last session from Allie about my character's like basically her family, and I was crying my eyes out. I was just sobbing. I don't know. Allie is such a wonderful storyteller. I am so lucky to play with both of them, and live close enough to them that I can play a home game with them. So that's exciting. And then simultaneously starting to get excited because when this game wraps up, then Lauren is going to be running a game for me and Allie.
Ooh.
We're doing some D&D, which I don't remember the last time I played D&D. Years ago. Like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Like at least. And but I'm making a character that I'm really excited about. I'm taking all of my sad boy energy and putting it all into one character. Have I told you anything about this character, Dylan?
No, this is the first time hearing about this.
So I'm being edgy, and I'm basically so we're doing it's very whimsical, kind of like mystery, like grim dark. It's going to be really fun. I think like it feels very fairy tale to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Lauren basically as a prompt was like, you went to a Winter Lights festival. That's very like fae, trickery energy, and something was taken from you. You might not know what it is. You might know what it is. And so I was like, what if I am a crazy person? So I basically am Will Turner post heart being removed from his body in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
So my character's name is Lost, and he doesn't have a heart. It's not in his body. He does not know where it is.
Sick.
He thinks that his heart was the thing that was taken from him at the Winterlights Festival.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Lost isn't actually his name.
Right.
But he doesn't know that his name isn't Lost. He thinks it is. But I thought it was so fun to just every time, my name is Lost, right? Because I don't have it anymore, but he thinks that's what his name is. So
hello, I'm lost. Do you need directions?
Which you
do love to do that kind of shit.
I do.
Imagine having a hawk named Lake and a sister named Hawk. Imagine doing that to your GM.
I've done, and I would do it again happily, and I would happily do it again.
Imagine during session 0 being like, okay, I get to name the place that I'm from. I'm going to call it Alasurdren. Figure that out. Figure out how that's spelled, Dylan.
But I'm super excited about it. And on top of all of that, he's a changeling. So
nice.
but doesn't know. Because I love my characters not knowing shit about themselves. And I think it's so fun. So I'm playing a paladin, which I've never done before.
Ooh, my favorite class.
Yeah. So I'm really excited and nervous because I'm like, surely I'm going to fuck this up massively about what I can and can't do.
Have you thought about your build at all?
No, literally not at all.
Beyond being like, I'll play paladin? Okay.
I let Lauren basically coax me through my character sheet and basically do the whole thing for me because I was like, I'm just here to play games and like you point me to a number on my sheet and I will abide by that number, but I will have zero understanding for what is going on with me or with anyone else. And I'm really excited. It's going to be really, really fun. And I'm excited to see everything that Lauren has cooked up. It's going to be great. Yeah. Sad boy.
I obviously haven't played Dungeons & Dragons in a very long time.
Yes.
They finally fired Mike Merles, so that's nice. They just did it while also laying off most of the company, which, oh well. That sucks. But the last time I played, a long time ago, I played a paladin, I think rogue was my secondary class. Yeah. Like multi-class. And the whole point of the build was that I had lots of attacks and lots of attacking with advantage. And all I did was try to get crits. Like just try to get natural 20 because a crit doubles your damage dice. And so what you do is you hunt for a crit and then dump all your spell slots into a smite. Yeah. And it doubles the damage dice on your smite and your weapon damage. Yeah. And you just you do a lot of chip damage over the course of the fight, and then you get one good crit and just explode people. It's so fun.
That's great.
But yeah, he was a neat character where he was originally just a thief. Like he went around stealing shit from people. Yeah. And being I think he was like a highwayman or something. And ended up looting a tomb or a temple or something, and becoming semi-possessed by this holy spirit of some ancient lost faith that was I am inhabiting your body now. I'm in your brain and I'm disapproving of everything that you do. And the source of all of his paladininess was this lost god, basically, that was stop being bad. He was very fun, but he was because I can't play a bad person. I'm incapable of doing it. Except as a GM.
Except for as a GM where you're just the worst.
I make the worst people. But the thing is, I always give them reasonable motivation.
Yeah, well, that's the fun of creating bad guys.
Yeah. Making me miss GMing. Anyway, but he was rogue with a heart of gold, right? He was very selfish, but in this in this self-conscious, he was selfish because he was afraid of getting hurt kind of thing. But yeah, very, very fun having this character who like put on a lot of blustery confidence. Like, I'm a bad guy. I do what I want. Let's go steal things and do whatever. But like, actually, I'm making sure to protect my party. And like, I maybe have a crush on the super murdery person in the party. And so I'm going to make sure that they're okay. And it was so good. So yeah, I wish you luck. Have fun.
Thank you. And I took the gambler background because I love my vices.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The one thing that I like, D&D is a game that like I haven't played in a long time, and I'm happy to not play it. For the most part, like I like Ironsworn a lot more for
so good.
most stuff. And there are other games too that I like a lot. But the one thing that I have not found outside of Dungeons and Dragons is satisfying tactical combat.
Yeah.
And like Pathfinder might be able to do that. Like everything else about playing D&D, all the role playing, way better in any other game. Kicking down a door and fighting stuff in like grid-based, I haven't found a good replacement. Maybe Pathfinder, but I haven't played it. I haven't played the second edition.
Yeah.
So maybe someday. But yeah.
Maybe someday.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks. I'm really excited. I'm sure I'll be talking so much about it once we get going.
Of course.
What about you? How's your last 2 weeks been?
Well,
what
I finished.
About you?
What about me? Yeah, let's move on. I finished Streamuary, so that was good. Streamed every day in January. And then I took 2 days off. Played some Lethal Company last night. That was great. Gonna play some more Lethal Company later tonight. That'll also be great.
Yeah.
And I played a video game for fun for myself.
Oh my God.
I've been playing the game.
How could you?
I know, right? How could I deprive my audience of content?
Yeah.
I've been playing Backpack Hero, which is very fun. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler thingy. But the whole, you know how roguelikes work, right? You got randomized stuff, you do runs, and yada, yada. Are you familiar with Slay the Spire at all?
Ish.
Yeah, so it's similar in the way that it plays, where you'll have an action economy, you have an amount of energy to spend, and you have stuff based on what's in your inventory. But the main thing is that it's inventory management. That's its weird gimmick, where you start the game with a backpack, a magical backpack that has I think 3x3 grid, and you have items that take up space, and those are your abilities. That's your inventory, is the stuff that you take up space. And then every time you level up, you get to add more spaces into your backpack to hold more stuff.
Okay.
And then that allows you to get bigger, more different items over the course of the run. And then when you finish the dungeon, you go out to town and there's a whole town building minigame that operates pretty similarly. And so there's this push-pull of, okay, I have a limited amount of inventory space, but like I need this particular item for a research thing back in town, so I want to keep it in my inventory for the whole run instead of trashing it. But I also want to be able to deal enough damage or protect myself enough to not die. It's very fun. And also it plays with the inventory mechanic a lot, where like certain items will just have funky shapes, and so the way that you fit them in your inventory, or they'll have different effects depending on what they're close to. Like you'll get accessories, and the way they'll work is sometimes they just give a passive bonus, but sometimes it's, every weapon adjacent to this accessory gets +1 damage. Or they'll have a float property or a heavy property, where float makes it go to the top of the highest row of the inventory every time. You can't make it not be at the highest. And or heavy makes it always sink to the bottom.
Right.
And so it forces you to think about, how you organize your inventory. There was a run that I did last night where I had an item that every time you used it, it gave every weapon in the same row a +3 bonus to damage for the rest of the fight.
Sick.
And so in order to make the most of that, I had to put make sure that every weapon I had was on that same row of the inventory or crossing over it somehow to get that bonus effect whenever I set it off. But that meant that like there was this line in my inventory where if I put other items, they were costing me effectiveness, essentially value from this item, this damage boosting item. So just fun stuff where you instead of just being like, okay, I have a pile of loot, it's like, okay, but how do they intersect with each other? Yeah.
That's cool.
One of my favorites is a chest plate that gives +1 damage to every weapon directly adjacent to it. So up, left, right, or down. Or gives a bonus 2 armor to every armor piece adjacent or diagonal to it. And so you have to think about like, how can I stack all of my armor pieces? Because like the way helmets usually work is they give you a bonus amount of bonus armor depending on how many rows there are below them. So like you want to put them toward the top of your inventory and then have a tall inventory. And boots work the other way around where they give you bonus armor depending on how many rows there are above them. But if you have too big of a backpack, then you're not going to be able to put the chest pieces that give bonus armor next to both of those. And it's just a whole thing. It's very silly. It's very fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And then I've started unlocking new characters in that game, and they basically will either have their own unique mechanic, or I guess I've unlocked one character who has their own unique mechanic, which is a charm mechanic. And then also the inventory management works completely differently, where you get this, his bag is torn, his magic bag is torn, and so his bag works differently. Whereas the starter, you get this 3x3 and then you build it out like one little grid square at a time. With his, you get this somewhat randomized section of slots in the center of your bag. And then every time he levels up, he gets like a Tetris piece of spaces that you can arrange in the bag. And it doesn't have to be contiguous with the existing space. It can be like a separate pocket, which means he also has a bunch of items that have, for every item of X type in pockets separate from this one, get this kind of a bonus. Or for every item of this type in the same pocket, get a bonus, where you have to like play around with not just the orientation of the items, but the amalgamation or separation of spaces in the backpack. It's neat stuff. It's a very it's leading really hard into the inventory management idea and taking that idea of like not just organizing stuff in a way that a lot of RPGs make very boring because it doesn't really matter. It's just a pain in the ass. And being like, okay, what if we made the entire game about inventory management? What if we took that idea and extrapolated it, way further? It's neat.
Super cool.
So yeah, I've been enjoying that. What else? Caught up on some TV. Ken and I have been watching My Hero Academia, which is great. We finally caught up on the 6th season, which is the most recent one.
Yeah.
And that was so good. Season 6 was fantastic. And the Minecraft series that I watch, the big survival multiplayer server, just started their new season yesterday.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it
That's
sort
exciting.
of has me feeling the Minecraft itch, but I'm like, the amount of
it's like yes, but also
the amount of admin work I have to do. That's the real struggle. Is like, I like playing Minecraft. Playing Minecraft is fun, but administrating a server is a big pain in the ass.
It's so hard. Yeah, there's so much work that goes into it.
But I mean, at some point I'll get back to it. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good 2 weeks. And now I'm excited for more Kentucky Route Zero and Lethal Company later. Speaking of which, do we want to do the first part of that?
Yeah, let's do the first part of it.
Let's do that first part. Let's play some Kentucky Route Zero. End of Act 3. Here and there along the echo. All right, we just got on a boat. I love these title cards.
Me too.
Okay. I assume I have to type this number in.
I'm assuming so too, but you'd need to pick up the phone first.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You're right. It's been so long since I used a landline. It's nice that it let me use my keyboard.
That is nice.
Hi.
Dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Secret tourism.
Secret tourism. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Secret. It's a secret tourism.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
I'm going to press 3.
Okay.
The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures whom I fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world. So I usually try to sing a little elegy like, small water creature, crab or frog. Now you know that sleep is all around us, like a muggy, tranquil fog. Something like that. It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state. But I've actually just had
What
breakfast.
the fuck is going on?
A debt of gratitude is also owed to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, who unselfishly
We know them.
and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here informational resource. You can always find the latest secret tourism literature in any of our unmarked kiosks or any other old place it happens to lay. That's all I have to say about that. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, call us back at extension 1928.
1928.
You can press 0 now
I got it.
to go back to the main menu. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1.
Oh.
For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2.
Ooh.
For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0.
I like 3. I want to do sounds.
For a catalog of subterranean bird song, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
I like either
For a catalog
something that's
of
happening in the dark
subterranean bird
or
song, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening
the organ
in
music.
the dark,
Okay.
press 2.
So you pick between those two.
The wet, rocky contours of the Echo River make for sometimes baffling reverberations that turn mundane sounds into weird, rattling symphonies. Like that. It can be a challenge to pick through the clamor and recognize even something as simple as water dropping in a metal bucket, especially in the dark. Here are some examples. When you hear a sound you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop.
I guess press 1.
And that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away. That was someone burning a phone book. That was someone tearing up an electric bill.
Hairdryer?
That was a phone ringing underwater.
Oh.
Sure.
That was a motorboat's propeller failing. That was dirt being thrown on the lid of a coffin.
Oh, great.
For a catalog of subterranean bird song, press. Now I'll play you
Give us the birds.
several recordings of Echo River bird
Let's hear the
song.
birds.
When you hear a song you want to know more about, just press 1. At any time, you can press 5 to stop.
The fuck?
Ah, the lonesome teal. Ugly, spiteful little thing.
Ugly.
That's the American grid piper. Huh? I thought they were extinct.
What the hell?
The rock sparrow. Don't feed him. He'll come back with friends.
Oh.
Cool.
You've got a gray-beaked grouse there. Not my favorite bird. That's a morning hummingbird. So named because they bury their dead.
What?
Oh.
That's just a pigeon.
That's all of them.
I believe that's a painted avocet.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh.
If you catch him, you can make a nice pigment from his feathers.
Yikes.
The peat-breathed riverbill. Keep an eye on that one. They make their nests out of stolen jewelry.
Oh.
Good for them.
Ah, the lonesome teal.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's all of them.
Spiteful little thing. For a catalog of subterranean... Lucky you. Does it sound like this?
Love me some organ music.
Me too.
I think the pipe organ is my favorite instrument.
I love that he's like, does it sound like this? And then plays the whole fucking thing.
Yup.
Imagine you're hearing it not only out loud, but also on your phone.
Yup.
Like, yes, that's what's happening.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
Nope. We're locked in.
Yep. Did you ever
Can you
used
hang up the
to?
phone?
Oh, maybe. But we need to do the extension. Okay. Hopefully it'll let us call back.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Let's
Ready to
just
go?
take a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call back.
Yeah, call back and then you'll hit 9 for the extensions.
I don't remember what was it 1928?
Yep, it was.
Hell yeah.
So impatient.
That's me. That's how I phone
Just chill
tree.
out. Chill.
That's how. This is how I do a.
You dialed into here and there along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Did you ever Did you, when you first got a cell phone, did you have one of those cell phones that made a noise every time you pressed the buttons?
No. I had a cell phone that
For a
it
menu
clicked.
of
It
our
didn't beep.
resources,
Oh,
press 1.
it's a shame.
Now is the time to dial an extension.
1928.
I just want to listen to the wind blow. Or even better, television static. Can you tune your TV to a dead station and let the static play into the phone? When you're finished, press the 0 button. Thanks.
Neat. The first phone that I had made little tones every time you press the buttons. I remember it was my second phone. I think it was my second. It was my first flip phone. And so I ended up learning how to do popular songs like Jingle Bells and stuff on just the buttons of my phone.
Love that.
Have some static, buddy.
Welcome home.
Oh,
For historical sites along the Echo River.
sure.
Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For
What is an
forgotten
underwater
places,
island?
press 2.
I don't know.
Restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options again, press 0.
What do you think?
Wow, that was a lot.
For a
What's
diver's
the-
guide to underwater islands, press
Let's
1.
let's just go in order. Let's just hear this shit. Let's hear that. Let's hear them out.
The violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the angle of its surface over time. Some sailors blame corked rocks, Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. Island of 350 and 440 hertz. Island of interfering tones. Hermit Thrush Island. This list is current as of now. For a diver's
Interesting.
guide to underwater islands. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3.
1.
There is a town which has its own roads, but which no other roads connect to. They send and receive mail. There is a school, and so on. But what I want to tell you about now is the horses. There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't stay in stalls. They sleep outside. They walk through the town, on the streets, or on the sidewalks, and the people of the town think of them as elegant, wordless neighbors. For a diver's guide to underwater
This is so
islands,
incredibly welcome tonight,
for
Val.
secret tourism,
So cool.
forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogue. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no road, there is a silo so tall and strange that it can take years for an echoing word to bounce from bottom to top and then bottom again. If you wait patiently, you may overhear the conversations of earlier visitors. I once had an argument there with a dear friend, but I forget what it was about, and we haven't spoken since. Maybe I'll go find out someday. For a diver's guide to
That's fun.
underwater islands, press 1.
Okay, give me Russell's
For
places.
the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. For a list of the places where people can't sleep, press 3.
You want 1,
I'm
2,
fine
3?
with.
For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press
I like 2.
There is a place that regularly floods. I first saw this place years ago when an acquaintance of mine, an artist, built an installation there. The work was very complicated. All of her artwork is. I remember
We know her.
it was made
Probably.
from huge piles of recycled newspapers. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to complete it before the flood came and wiped it out. The next time I passed by this place, it was full of young men and women on bicycles. They'd built a track weaving through the soggy ruins of my acquaintance's flooded artwork. The rising water level quickly made it too dangerous to ride in anymore, and many bicycles were crashed and abandoned. The last time I saw the place, it had been repurposed to store handmade pottery earmarked for sale out of state. By the time I arrived, there was just a pile of ceramic fragments dashed by floodwaters against rusting bicycles and gray pulp. I've heard recently that this place has been reclaimed again. Surely this time, things will be different. For a diver's guide
Oof.
to underwater islands, press 1.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I've had enough of this
For
phone call, I
Diver's
think.
Guide to Underwater Islands, press 1. For forgotten places.
So, where to?
I feel kind of overwhelmed now, you know. Too many options.
I know. I just want to... It's the three of them, right? I always forget
Bob.
everyone's names between recording sessions.
I don't know.
I know. I just want to sit somewhere and draw or something. Yeah, work on some whittling, turn some boards into scrap wood.
They mentioned a weird silo.
How weird are we talking? I think I've heard about this. It's huge. Like, what did they ever store in this thing huge, you know? Worth a look. Cool. Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Neat. Act 4.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hello, Mammoth.
Interesting.
Mechanical Mammoth.
Yeah.
Weird. 5.4 Context Backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus, 5A-1, may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine, gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping.
I guess it could be slippage.
If left unresolved, gear slop can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. See also sections 1.8, General Troubleshooting, and 5.3, Gesture Context.
Seems like troubleshooting is the most important.
Troubleshooting, okay. 1.8, General Troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. General troubleshooting techniques include hammering with something plastic until the resonance becomes apparent, tapping on exposed metal with a wrench, or applying a cold washcloth and watching for changes in stability.
Must be missing a page or something.
Must be missing a page or something. My savior! Our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight?
Time to put that mammoth out to pasture, Will.
Oh, I feel certain she's got a few trips left in her. If only she had a more capable surgeon. Sadly, mechanics are in short supply down here. I think the setting is too romantic. It scares them off. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight?
I always end up here eventually.
The river is like that. Always has been. We picked you up at the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. Hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero?
Yeah. Have you been there? The Zero?
Oh no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half of my life, more or less alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but can't say for sure. Water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Act 4, Scene 1. The Mucky Mammoth.
Mucky, mucky, muck.
Ooh. Kate, Will.
Let's go talk to Will.
Hell yeah.
Very
God, this
cool.
game is so cool.
They really just did everything they could, huh?
Yeah. Like, you can see, especially because, like, it was developed over a pretty long time, right?
Yeah.
You can see where, like, they started with some ideas in Acts 1 and 2, and then after that, they're just fucking sending it.
Yep. Talk to Will.
For we on mold and whiskey fed and... Oh! Wet gears.
Did you build this thing?
No, this thing's probably older than I am. Got some gray in her pelt there. Calcium deposits, I guess. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you?
How do you two know each other?
So... Ever walked through a rolling farmland?
Sure, along the highway.
Along the highway, that's what I mean, or smaller roads. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences, and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted, and tilled the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. It doesn't matter. Minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud de Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places, even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was protest. I'll walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. Ran for a while above ground then. It doesn't anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. Try to help with maintenance, drop off the mail, and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river's stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Oh, if you talk to Kate, could you ask her, when she stops for gas, could she pick me up a scratch ticket? Thanks.
I wonder if this is a guy on the line.
On the what?
The phone line.
Oh, could be.
One who recorded.
Cool dog. How's that cold river spray treating you? Thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know. Hard on the eyes. Still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People just assume you're thoughtful. You need tea. So, dried reishi, definitely. Split gill powder, maybe toad. Just kidding. Turkey tail fungus, pomegranate, sun-dried oyster cap, shiitake.
How far are we from Dogwood Drive?
The Echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dogwood Drive is by the Silo mail stop, but we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business. Mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, a few favors to execute, all dotted on the river banks from here to there. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. And take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out, that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy.
What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look.
Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. I saw you talking to Will. He's an old friend. Don't be fooled by that burned-out aura. He's a smart and kind man. I think his only vice is those silly scratch tickets. Speaking of which, we're coming up on our next stop shortly. If you feel I'm picking up a few things. Well, eyes on the road. Ezra runs up to Shannon.
Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck.
Do you have batteries?
Yeah, of course. What for?
Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery.
Oh, fun. Well,
Shannon searches her pockets.
here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of those should fit.
Thank you. And now we're Ezra.
Hell yeah. Cool.
Man, this game.
Didn't know what's up.
Cat. I see cat. I go to cat. Cat, 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 cat. Musicians. Oh God. It's like an old man. Really?
You were entranced. You don't remember this?
You take Clara.
Okay. It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic.
Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara.
Well, you'll have a second chance to hear it tonight.
That was fast. Got the batteries. Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. Plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. Really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean.
Maybe the playing a concert tonight?
Okay. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that.
Yeah, Clara has come all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig.
Damn.
It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it. And Johnny was moved.
Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there.
Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago.
3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there.
I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual.
Hey, why don't you give the tape recorder a try and see if that cat over there has anything he wants to say?
I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. That's cool.
I am not nailing Johnny tonight.
Whatever, who cares?
I care. Oh,
His
Conway?
arm.
Conway, buddy? Yeah. I love this, actually.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff.
Good meows. Hey, Conway. Oh, we're Conway now.
What the fuck happened to his arm?
I'm sure he's fine. Cool dog. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here.
Maybe you should slow down.
Nah, I'm good. It's just that thing about, what was it? When you walk through a door, you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You're driving for hours. Getting any sleep?
I had a weird dream.
Yeah, it's when you get the strangest dreams. When you're not off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below.
It does look cold, doesn't it?
Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. Person could easily fall in. He's been exploring.
He seems to keep himself entertained.
It's good for him. It's important to know how to, how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question.
Do you really have to go work? Have to go to work at hard times?
I thought he didn't drink, but he is drinking.
Yeah.
Didn't seem so bad, did it? It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice.
I think you do have a choice.
I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden.
Weird.
Yikes.
Yeah. Seems like they are brainwashing him somehow.
Conway's doing great.
Yeah.
Kentucky Route Zero. Conway's doing great. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me I ought to have been a photographer. I think this was Will.
I think so, yeah.
She said, you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there. And that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now, I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain. The whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle fact of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him, and I suspect sampled his wares. One night, I was working on the Mucky Mammoth. We picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, pair traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Oh.
Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station.
And so he did.
Map room would have been cool too.
Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. Gas. We cut it close. Usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight.
The gas station moves around.
Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. Just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night, though, to be honest. I'm not sure it's even the same one, doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really pay attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's the storm, I think. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right?
I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick.
Sounds familiar. You don't have any, of your own, I mean. No, I guess not. I just realized you do come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but never thought to ask about family.
We're all the family we need.
That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it's kind of roamed around, uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got that river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river, not at all. I've got a good feel for it, plus it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into those little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You have never seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah! I cannot find his voice. It's fine.
We don't know where we'll be tomorrow.
I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush, I just want to brew some tea before we get underway.
That plane.
Heading to the station?
Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged.
Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be all right. Seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Monkey Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. All right, in we go. I love to paddle my airplane down the river. Attendant. Looking for crystals?
I need a scratch ticket.
What kind? Junebug examines the lottery display case.
The one with a grassy field on it.
Money minefield. Okay. Anything else?
Snacks.
Sure, we have snacks. How about some jerky? It's homemade, not by me. You work on the mammoth? I can add it to your tab.
Oh, you know the tugboat? The captain, Kate, said I'd have to remind you.
Sure, they're here every night. It's okay. I have one of those faces. Forgettable.
Does it bother you?
I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city. I mean a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here, to Lake Lethe? This is
Leaf.
Greek word. And the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself?
No, I don't think so. I don't blend in.
Not so easy to forget, I'd say. I see now that you're right. Well, that's yours to bear then. Snacks are in the back there.
Norm.
Hello, Norm. Shit, that floodwater washed you half up out to sea. I was looking for you down by New Königsberg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there, and the river's deep as an elephant's. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language.
Where are you headed?
Well, in fact, I'm headed right here. Glad to have found it at last. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted. Repeating it now, I feel a little silly.
I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted.
Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed.
Do I look like her?
To be truthful, I couldn't tell you. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife, my ex, or maybe I am her ex. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So here I am.
So what's your plan when Loretta shows up?
Oh, maybe head down to the rum colony? Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. I really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'd maybe try to take her by the Bat Sanctuary. That's pretty romantic, in a sense. I like misty valleys and ruined churches romantic, not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. That's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we'd kind of sail around that. Damn it all. I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again.
I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all.
Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all.
My card is full.
Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date. I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so. I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and I spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me, I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think?
What was that about goofballs?
I mean, like, serious inquiries only.
You might miss out on some really great goofballs.
You may be right about that.
The thing about the wind is a little much.
Yeah, you're probably right. I want to show my poetic side. I'll save that for the date.
You'll be fine.
All right, thanks for your help, man. Really renewed my confidence. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it, anyway. Junebug surveys a row of chocolates, licorices, cheese crackers, dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, and colored.
Johnny seems distant. He was excited about Kate's dog, too.
A bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn shaped and colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets, with a few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes.
What would it be like to travel with one more?
Somewhere in there is surely a preservative, in case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time.
Even supposing it was possible to take on another passenger long term.
Oh,
Yeah,
too late.
You're good.
She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients, but only finds a marketing blurb, inspired by real vegetables. All right, Johnny and Val. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? Or mushroom hunting, huh? I need to make him older. Old man.
What do you think of that other dog?
Was I doing like a slight British for him? Probably.
No. You were just doing old man, like very old timey.
Was I doing like old, like announce? Yeah, old timey. That's what I was missing.
Old timey announcer.
What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? That's closer.
Yeah.
1 or 2?
I think 1.
Boo's a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure.
I think 1.
Like to try my hand at mushroom hunting? I bet I'd be pretty good at it.
Would you like to ride with us for a day?
Okay. So, would you like to ride with us for a day?
I bet you would. We're good company.
I bet you would. We're good company.
I think 1.
Maybe we can still talk her into it.
I want them to take the puppy with them for a day. Johnny.
Johnny!
Sorry, Cricket. Nothing good on offer.
Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds?
I didn't look.
It's okay. I'll go check. Wish me luck.
Good luck. Something's going on here. Why are they so tense?
I don't know.
Attendant.
Which one?
Either. They're both good.
Hey man.
Hey, man.
How's your night? Quiet. Where are you headed?
I think 2.
Just following Junebug. She was in here a minute ago. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling you two might be traveling together. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me.
Meet some interesting people.
Meet some interesting people? I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything.
Ow.
Glory, it's good to be among friends. Suit yourself.
Wow, I wish I should take a page out of your book, man.
Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man. I'd give you any advice I could, little guy, but I think the most important thing I can say is... Glory, it is good to be among friends.
I'll see what I can do with that.
Okay, I'll see what I can do with that. It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight, particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm going to tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River, alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They're occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best I could, and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake, or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time and apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I accepted my fate, lost at sea. And this phase I think would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by time, and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek right under my left eye, right up on that salty teardrop, and then, blinding glory! His ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy, that was a damn lightning bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks, only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect, hatched out of my last rotten apple. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Incredible.
Look at his outfit too.
Look at this
He's
guy.
wearing a fucking hat.
Like a trench coat.
Yeah. Big plans for the night? Me and Johnny should probably start looking for a place to stop and recharge for the day. Maybe that'll be the same place the rest of our little one-night crew ends up.
Good shit. Little boat. There he goes. That's a guy. That guy's a trip. A gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny. He actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit.
I thought it was a toad.
Oh, is there a difference?
Yeah, toads are bigger.
Huh. I never knew.
He seemed more like a cat to me, the attendant, I mean.
Oh yeah, I can see that too. Aloof, but strangely chatty. Maybe we should pick up another one? A frog, or a cat, or an iguana, or something?
Maybe a third person to travel with?
Ah, now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? You and me were good together. Safe. Free. You know what I mean? We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap pots around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with, well, what else could we be?
You may be right, Cricket.
You really think so? Wow, I thought I'd have to wear you down a little, like I did with the gerbils. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road.
I think they're going to take Ezra.
River, I mean. Yeah, I think so too. He has been hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Like, he and Johnny hit it off really well.
Yeah.
See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is that grayed frame and old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there, too, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. Ida or
It's
Judah?
owned by Judah.
It's owned by a reclusive ex-convict named Judah. Very little is known about him. His crime is generally assumed to be violent or otherwise gruesome in some detail, though of course that's all speculation and probably comes from his association with the taxidermy business, even though he never so much as skins a squirrel. He's more like a silent partner. I guess those are the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on. But Judah's old and keeps to himself, and the consensus seems to be that he's paid his debt to society, whatever that debt may have been. Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the Mammoth's video collection, or Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony.
I really want to go see the fucking video collection.
This one?
Yeah, but we won't get to see the bar. But I want to see the video collection because we might not be able to otherwise. I want to see the video collection because they said they were weird videos.
Okay. Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the Mammoth's video collection. Act 4, Scene 3. The Mucky Mammoth.
Mucky.
Let's see. The shelves are full of dusty tapes. Some have been relabeled several times, the stickers piling up thick on their spines.
Funeral thing. Oh, this is what I call gameplay.
An elderly couple sit on folding chairs in the middle of a TV studio, undecorated except for a funeral lily in a thin blue vase on the table. The lights are a bit too dim to make out their features. She reads from a newspaper with unhurried efficiency. Oh, hello, little buggos.
Yeah.
Or quabs, maybe. Gloria B. of Munfordville passed away on Monday at her residence. Survivors include her children, Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, and Bobby, all of Munfordville. State, Bobby. A memorial service will be held at 7 p.m. Thursday at Hatton Huffman Funeral Home in Munfordville, with cremation to follow. She never knew Gloria. He thinks he may have heard the name, wondering aloud if she ever worked at a cafe down there in Munfordville. The woman who ran that place was once called Gloria, or maybe still is. They take a call. Someone who knew Gloria B., if not very well. The caller once installed a satellite dish at Gloria's house, a 900 square foot ranch-style home on 2 acres at a dead end, backed by weeds and pine. When the caller mounted the ladder up to Gloria's roof, she slid open her window and tugged urgently at his pant leg. He followed her gaze behind the house to 2 wild turkeys picking through the weeds. Gloria and the caller watched, silent and still, as the huge birds foraged obliviously into the trees. Then he installed the satellite dish. Sad. Fair enough.
Art thing or question mark, question mark, question mark.
Art thing. At first, she thinks the video might be paused, but on closer inspection, she can see the edges of the frame shrinking inwards around the chairs, desk, and loose gray furniture of a sterile waiting room. She watches for a while. She's not sure for how long. Several minutes. The zoom tightens, so gradually she sometimes forgets it's happening at all, and finally rests on an oscillating desk fan. She ejects the tape before the next part of the triptych begins. Okay. Question marks.
Yeah. I have a shit ton of videos.
Yeah.
They're like hermit crabs that have like made their homes in cans.
Yeah, I think so. That awful hum. It seems to start before Shannon even hits play. Then there's the familiar room. There are the blank gray walls marked with tape and school desks. And this time she notices a few more details. The murky carpet like standing water. Some video equipment stashed in the corner. A row of lockers. And there's Weaver, looking serenely at the camera. As before, she starts speaking, and, as before, there's no sound, but that hum. Shannon finds Weaver's words coming back to her as they appear in captions on the screen.
Mail, school, and these magnificent, tragic horses. Go underground as deep as you can go. The air is cool and the earth is damp, and when you close your eyes, you are surrounded by the dead. Remember where that is? You'll find your way from there. I think this place is what you're looking for. Some of it will wash away soon, but I think you'll be happy here, even without the mail from school.
The text repeats for a few minutes, and Shannon stops the tape.
That's so creepy.
Yup. Love to see it. Main deck. Hi, Blue.
is great.
Hey, Will. Kate and Will. No, it was only a few notes. Slow and sad, like funeral music, you know? I don't remember it being sad, just simple and unburdened. Maybe that's what funeral music sounds like to me. Unburdened. Oh, hello. Kate and I were just trying to remember the Mammoth song. But neither of us have heard it for years. Will just found the mechanism. In the mammoth's belly, hidden in gritty, matted fur. It's like a big music box, a slowly spinning cylinder covered in metal pins that pluck her dulcet guts and pump the bellows in her bowels. Some of the pins are rusted and worn away, easy to replace if we can ever remember what the notes were. Did I hear you browsing the archive next door? Find anything good?
Where did all those videos come from?
People just left them on board. Passengers, I mean. It used to all be movies and that kind of stuff. I like nature documentaries especially. Some people left home movies or little art videos they'd made, but that damn VCR devours anything you leave in it. Just switches on into record mode at random, and picks up whatever's coming in over the antenna. Of course, the only station we get down here is that WEVP, community television, you know? Got that show with the gentleman playing banjo in his birthday suit? I'm sure you've seen it. Oh, yes. And if there's no tape in the machine when it tries to start recording, it makes this awful sound, like putting a squeaky toy in a food processor. I can hear it above deck. Awful. That's why I put the sign up. Please do not rewind after watching. At least that way nothing gets taped over anymore.
I'm sure I can fix it.
My hero. We were talking earlier. She has an intuition for these things.
I just like to take things apart.
You should meet Dashiell. He did a lot of volunteer work for WEVP in the early days, wiring up antennas and relays, stuff like that. I think you two would have a lot to talk about. He works at the telephone exchange. Now, I'm afraid he's been let go. Oh yeah? That's odd. He still takes the ferry to work every day. I'm sure he's at the telephone exchange right now, in fact. I dropped him there a few hours ago. We're stopping at the telephone exchange again shortly to deliver their mail and pick up their trash. You should go ashore when we do. Ask for Dashiell.
Okay.
Oh. That's it?
That's it? We'll never know what that con man was like, or convict.
I rarely miss a chance to lounge on the beach around the rum colony, and I do enjoy a drink, though I don't find their signature liquor suits me. But this time I elected to stay aboard and shoot the breeze with Kate over some mineral water. Still, I heard reports.
Ezra told me about the dark corners.
Ezra told me about the dark corners. See, that beach is lit by a congregation of amber torches stuck in the sand. They mix the torch fuel with citronella oil, keeps the bugs away, which keeps the bats away, but the light doesn't fall very far from the flame. The rest is shadows and sandy echoes, and that's the part Ezra wanted to tell me about.
Said he found a treasure.
He said he found a treasure. I knew better than to pry.
Damn. What do we miss?
I don't know.
Cool, though. It's cool that you still get to kind of decide what happens.
Yep. Oh, if we're talking about the rum colony, I should tell you about Patch. He's the bartender, general manager, creative director. I guess that means he books the music. He's pretty much run the place for the last 7 years. A lot of folks assume he owns it, but that is not the case. Rum Colony is owned by a dead man named Vernon, and technically it would be owned by the power company, who once bought a sizable interest from Vernon as part of a state-sponsored investment program. But a clause in that arrangement requires them to keep their hands off the day-to-day, and most of the profits, so long as Vernon walks this earth. The upshot of all this is that nobody came forth to identify the body. Patch is a good guy, though. Kind, trustworthy, and he mixes a strong Mai Tai if that's your thing. What's this?
Phone exchange? What the fuck is it?
Valkyrie and Blue lounged below deck. Clara, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone.
I'm fine with either of these.
I don't know who Valkyrie is. But...
The dogs. Val, the dog.
Oh, Val's the dog. Val short for Valkyrie. We'll do this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Clara, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone.
The puppas hanging out together downstairs.
Good for them. Act 4, Scene 4. A phone. That's the phone.
Pretty cool.
I guess we're going to be here for a minute. Looks they have a few calls to make.
I should probably call someone too.
Oh, yeah? Who are you calling?
Julian.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's got a phone up there? But they all share a phone, right? All the birds, the big bird and phone up in the sky.
That's ridiculous. He uses the one at the museum.
That's ridiculous. He uses the one at the museum. Makes sense. Well,
do you see what he's wearing right now?
the fucking lay.
Yeah.
Yep. Guess I'll head back aboard. Might see if I can find any of the good stuff stashed in the... Maybe in the spice cabinet? Maybe in the medicine cabinet? That's where it belongs.
Dude, Conway.
Hell, who am I talking to? Don't listen to me, kid. I'll see you in a few. Shannon with the face palm.
Conway, bud.
Oh.
Cool.
I keep hearing these noises whenever I close my eyes. It's like bells ringing. But the bells aren't metal bells or ceramic bells. They're the kind of bells like normally you hear. They're like this weird. I can't even describe the material. It's just resonant. This ringing resonant. And as soon as I open my eyes again, there's nothing.
Bear.
I remember driving across an old dirt road. My birthday at the party at McDonald's in Hawaii. I got a toy that I didn't like. I broke it.
Great voicemail.
Getting caught next in the jungle gym. I was crying for that monster truck rally that my parents take me out. And they missed it. One of those two. Seriously? Whether I wear boots or sneakers, my feet always feel damp. Cold and damp.
Well, I was hoping that you'd be able to tell me why I can't sleep. It seems like it's been a long time, and it seems like it's been it's time to sleep now.
Will, what the fuck, dude?
I love this so much. I'm so pleased.
I think you're
This
right,
is the first
though.
voice acting that we've heard
Yeah.
in this whole thing.
I think you're right, though, because I think this is like the waiting arrow at the Bureau for Claimed Spaces,
Yeah.
which on the phone the voice said that the Bureau of Secret Tourism had stolen a phone line basically from them.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I think you're right that he is.
I
The
remember
person on the phone.
going
Yeah.
to a house in Aroostook County, Maine.
I imagine that this is people who were calling that phone
Driving up
Mm,
and got to a point in the
a white
phone
Nissan
service that
station
asked them a
wagon
question.
with
yeah, you're probably right.
it was the first time
Like
that
ours
I'd
asked
seen
for us to
the
play
house
static from a
that
TV
I was gonna
Right.
live in
into the
for
phone.
next 7 years.
Being washed in the bathroom sink.
How many of these are there?
There was like 23 or 32.
Parallel park it. The street that I live on was full, but there was a but it just got cold today for like the first time in a long time. So I had the heat on. And whenever you have the heat on in an old car, it definitely smells a certain way.
That's true.
It smells kind of like, it almost smells, you can like smell that it's hot, and you can feel it too, but the smell that it is like from the car itself, like from the engine. And there's been a lot of smoking going on in that car, so it's not exactly a pleasant smell, but it's definitely strong and it's definitely there. And with the windows down, you can also smell that it's cold. So you get both. And that feeling together is super familiar if you've been in old cars a lot. Anyway, I was parking and I had to go in and out about it like 3 times, but when I finally finished parking, it was like perfect. Both wheels against the curb, and that's when I had like the double memory. When I first learned how to drive, my mom taught me how to parallel park. She told me the story about when her dad, who was a motorcycle cop, taught her how to parallel park. And every time she parallel parked, he would take out a dime.
A cab.
Dime between the wheel of her car and the curb of the street. Then she had to do it again. She didn't do that for me, but every time that I got upset about having to do it again, she would tell me that at least I didn't have to be a dime's distance away from the curb. I learned how to
Jesus.
drive in the fall, and I got that smell a lot during that time. I don't know when my mom learned to drive.
Damn.
What? It's so interesting.
I love this game.
Oh, probably going to
There's probably like a tell me a distinct memory or
Yeah.
something.
Something like that.
I can't sleep because the trees are scraping against my window, and it reminds me of a tongue scraping against my skin.
Okay.
What?
What?
Literally.
I'm about to cross an ocean. I worry about my dog.
Aww.
Conway?
Can't sleep anywhere near a place. The gas is sold. Not when it's being sold, but when it's not being sold. It's tough to hold on to this thing, but yeah, my hands are pretty damp.
What does that mean?
If there was that button that was like, if you're holding onto a snake, press 4.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're currently holding onto a snake.
Yeah.
I remember the number 10 in a flashcard with a turkey on it. It had a yellow background.
The frogs are too loud.
There must be also a why can't you sleep or something.
Hmm.
What a jam.
Not a whole lot. I guess I was walking. I was in a stroller in Treetop Park, Florida. My mother accidentally pushed me into a spider web. I freaked out a lot. I think that's the first thing I remember.
We were sent for.
Okay. There we go. That was worth it.
Don't you go diving in too. It's actually really cold and kind of dangerous. Did he say where he was going? Yeah, it's looking for the good stuff.
He's looking for the good stuff.
I see. Still thirsty.
Kate keeps some diet soda in the broom closet, but you didn't hear it from me. It's next to the bleach. Bring a flashlight.
Oh no, I don't think that's what he's looking for. So, any important messages?
Every single one. Where are you headed tonight, small man?
Following my friends.
I'm just following my friends. Is this young woman your friend?
We met Ezra earlier tonight, and he's been very helpful. I'm hoping we can return the favor once we get back above ground. Poor kid was sleeping at the bus station. Just lost track of his folks.
He'll be all right. He's more home down here than any of us. Trust me, I have an eye for it. Kate's turn. Oh. It's you!
Oh my god, it's literally me. Kate, thanks for calling.
I hope I didn't wake you up.
No, I can't really get comfortable enough to sleep anymore, except in the car. Oh, not driving, in the passenger seat, reclined. Eric drove me around the reservoir this afternoon, and I got an hour or two in. I couldn't get settled in bed, so I was just watching TV, some cooking show about high concept junk food, and everyone from my high school chemistry class was there making cupcakes out of old bicycle parts. I think she's pregnant.
I think so.
I think I might have dozed off a bit, actually. Honestly, This baby can come out whenever he wants. I'm completely over it.
Don't rush it. Just try to get some rest.
That's what Eric says. I guess it'll happen when it happens. I mean, obviously it.
The phone line makes a horrible sound.
Whoa, God, the phones down here are such a mess. Hey, Kate, I really appreciate you checking in. I have your pager number, and so does Eric, just in case I'm too distracted or whatever. I'll let you go. I should try and eat something.
I love these, like, have some herbs.
Yeah, I think oil, second one.
Sure. Try some of that lichen oil I left, just to help settle your stomach.
Okay, thanks. Maybe I'll just chew on some ice.
It really is you.
Yeah, I love chewing ice. Talk to you soon, Kate. Hopefully.
Damn, they put you in a video game.
That's crazy.
Didn't even know.
They didn't even ask.
Just
Oh!
Oh, cool. Just checking in on a client. Did I mention I'm a birth doula?
Wow, how does that fit with being a tugboat captain?
Some women choose to come labor on the boat, actually. For the rest, I have a backup, just in case I can't go back to dry land in time. I've been lucky and only had to lean on her a handful of times out of several hundred births. You'd never believe how many people are just born all the time.
Is everything okay?
Everything's great. Sounds like she's ready. Some women just know. It's amazing. Others are caught totally by surprise. Your friend went back aboard?
He's been drinking a bit.
Oh, I should have pointed him toward the head. Clara's turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you phoned. I was just thinking of you.
You're sitting by the phone waiting for my call? That's so nice.
I was eating an early lunch, actually, and my mind was wandering. I visited the hospital yesterday. Went to visit Uncle Andreas, and they moved him. Now he's in hospice, in a hospice care facility run by some old Polish nun. Everyone says it's very nice. I asked them about visiting, and they said he didn't want any visitors.
That's his right.
I guess it is, technically. Clara, I don't think it's really what he wants. If you came to visit, he would see you. All those afternoons you two would go drinking beers by the river. Don't you think it would mean a lot to him if he could say goodbye to you in person?
Oh, Nadia. I'd never make it back in time anyway.
It's true. You're a long way from home, Clara. Suppose it can't be helped. Oh, here's Mother at the door. We're going to try again to see him. I hope the tour is going well. Love you. Be careful. Oof.
My sister back home. She's very depressing to me this morning. My uncle Andreas is terminally ill and refusing visitors, and Nadia is making a stir about it.
One or two?
2.
Sorry to hear. Are you close?
Yes, but only recently. He lived abroad for most of my life. I only met him a few years ago. My sister is older, so she knew him as a child, too. So I think her respect for him is distorted by sentiment. We must always take the dying at their word. Their motivations are beyond our understanding.
Valid.
The older man, he's swimming back to the Mammoth. No emergency, I hope.
One or two.
Either.
He's looking for the toilet.
Well, I hope he finds it before we embark. He seems unsteady on his feet as it is.
Conway. Brandon approaches.
Welcome, Brandon.
I don't suppose any of you folks are headed past the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces?
Maybe the first one?
Not on this run, but we'll be coming back this way in a few hours. Well, I may still be here then. It's no big deal. I'll just hang out and read or something until it's time to head back to work. Hey, you folks are traveling with that old guy, right? With the leg? Is he okay? I saw him earlier tonight. He came by the storage facility for some files. He totally bit it on the staircase. He's okay though, right?
Sure, he's just been drinking a bit. You know how it is.
You know how it is. Yeah, you'd have to be to dive into the echo like that. Well, have a good night, or morning, almost. No one's having a good time, dude. That's right. Or that right there is Ratliff Monuments. If you ever need a headstone carved for a loved one, I mean. Violet Ratliff, never married, nevertheless bore 6 children: Earl, Kelly, Barb, Ron, young Earl, and Beauty. And for each birth, she locked the doors of Ratliff Monuments for only one day, even with young Earl when she was in labor for 36 hours. Well, that's what folks said, and I met her and I believed them. She had the unyielding disposition of a cliffside. None of Violet's children had any desire to go into monument making.
Barb was never very good with her hands.
She ended up reading scripts in a call center where she only occasionally has to press a button or take down an order. Mostly she talks and listens, which suits her well enough. The run of the shop fell at last to young Earl, the only rat left still at home when his mother finally passed at 82, and who then had the honor of engraving her headstone. He's done well, for the most part.
The shop was damaged in a flood several years ago.
The showcase, a mock cemetery out front, was mostly washed away. Stone monuments bobbing violently in the first torrents of the flood eventually sank and spread along the channel bottom, downriver, an elongated graveyard for no human loss, visited by eyeless fish and adorned with indifferent wreaths of algae. If a few stray stones ended up at the bottom of the Lake Lethe, too, we'll never know. Young Earl is the last of his short line, professionally, and there's nobody around qualified to carve his monument, so he's already claimed one of those at the bottom of the river for himself. Damn. Bleak is correct. Ezra taught us a card game. Shannon, Ezra, the old man, and I stopped at the Radvansky Center to make some quick cash.
Ezra taught us a card game.
Act 4, Scene 5. The Mucky Mammoth. Clara draws a card.
3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours.
Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours.
What are we listening to?
Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Vest sinks, something like that.
Sounds good on the Mammoth's PA.
Yeah, it's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Ezra draws a card. Deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours.
Yeah, it's the first one.
First one. 9 gray feathers, 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours.
Yep.
Will draws a card. 9 gray feathers.
Stay focused.
No, I've got 7 blue petals. And? Or no, that's you, sorry.
Yeah,
5. Oh no, it was 973. This game is more difficult than it sounds, my friend.
Not that hard.
It's not that hard. And we're only how many cards in a row? 5 or something? I assume it will go to 52. Oh, Jesus.
It goes until everyone forgets a card.
That could go on a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. We're too soggy-brained. I know I am. I even made homemade supplements for it. Shade-grown lichen boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for a good memory, if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. Oh, don't worry, that soggy brain has its benefits too. If your brain is too soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But, like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away. So there's a trade-off, see? It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it?
What's this game called, Ezra?
Forgetting game. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it.
Takes place in a castle.
Takes place in a castle. Some historic landmark being maintained by a bunch of college kids and aging social misfits. The main characters work in the gift shop. They're co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi is older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work, they have playfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle.
Mimi confides in her friend about a traumatic event from her past.
I don't know what the event was exactly. I guess I would know if I'd started at the beginning like the writer probably meant me to, but I've never found that way of reading suited me very well. Death of a loved one, I think. Something like that. In my life's work as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than any epic history. That's my excuse, anyway, for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake, and a chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. We headed ashore? Or are we merging with more river? Cool island. Cool trees. I took a nap. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms.
I don't know. Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms.
Act 4, Scene 6. A grove. Ooh. Pretty. Whoa, way zoomed out.
Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous. Holy shit.
This game has been pretty. Top to tip.
But we're gonna stop here. Got you.
Got him.
Yeah, we'll pick this up next time. We are already over time. And we have more streaming to do this evening. So we will put the game down here and be back to it next week for more.
Yes. More Kentucky Route Zero, the weirdest and most beautiful game.
I'm loving this game, and I'm sad that we're already most of the way through it, because at this point, I would play this game forever, I think. I understand that the premise of this show is that we play a number of games, but fuck it, I'll just play this forever. If you're watching us live rather than on YouTube, we will be back in probably a little over 30 minutes for some Lethal Company. So if you want a wildly different vibe, see you then.
Woo! Bye, bitches.
Yeah. Bye, bitches.